Heidi ho, everybody. Welcome back to Book Club. We're back. That was some like half-ass applause. Where's the applause? There we go. There we go. Full auditorium. There we go. Everybody's here. Anyway. Howdy, everybody. Welcome back to Book Club. Well, I'm gonna play some intro music. Where's the intro? Here we go. There we go. Some intro music. No, wait. Oh my god, this is terrible. We've lost it. Where's the song that plays in the intro? There it is. This is the intro song. Book Club, where we talk about movies, music, books, video games, all that stuff. And today we got holiday movies on the docket. We have 4 great movies to talk about. I watched them all in the span of like 2 days, and they're filled with laughter, crying, cheerfulness, jolliness, and all that stuff. So let's introduce our guest today. First up, we got my fellow company brethren, Insidious Bliss. How you doing, Insidious?
Hey, what's going on?
Not much.
You know what all these movies were filled with? All crime. What? Horrible crime.
There were, yep. These
not a single one. Could the heroes help themselves, not just go around committing felonies?
So this is holiday crime movies that we're doing.
It is
here.
It is. Maybe at the end we should compare what the Christmas themes are. You know what really makes a Christmas movie?
Mm-hmm.
Because right at the top of my book is felonies.
Yeah. Look at Die Hard. It's just felonies, but during Christmas. It just has to be during Home Alone. Breaking and entering. Oh my god, we're gonna have to talk about this, absolutely. And then next we got Mr. Carl of RNG Podcasts on call from not a professional microphone. How you doing, Carl?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm about to just punch out of work and then try to stream from my car. So that's gonna be interesting and exciting, as you can probably hear. All the machines behind me.
We can hear the sirens.
Yeah, speaking of felonies.
Carl is currently living a holiday Christmas movie right now, so
yeah, yes. You know that makes him our Christmas hero, Carl, because he's the one being chased by the cops.
Carl, the Christmas hero. My god, what is your avatar, by the way? Is that like?
That's a picture of me. I figured this was the closest I could look to a wise man. So.
Well, facts. That's great. And last but not least, my lovely lady, the beautiful Dabzilla. How are you, Dabs?
Hello.
She's currently watching DSP stuff, so.
No, I'm not.
We just watched all the movies in 2 days. Yesterday we couldn't really watch movies. We had to run Boo. Speaking of holiday stories, we had to rush Boo, our littlest of kitty girls, to the emergency vet because she ate tinsel hanging off of a Christmas tree. And I was like, that should be okay, right? And it's like, no, tinsel's really fucked up. I'm like, uh-oh, we need to rush. And we rushed
that's what I told him. I was like, there's tinsel on the tree. When did your mom put tinsel on the tree? And he's like, it's not a bad thing. I'm like, that's very bad. I'm like, Google it. It's very bad. We need to go to the vet right now.
Yes. So
my cat used to eat the Easter grass in the Easter baskets. That was always fun.
Oh
boy. Yeah, that's brutal. But yeah, so we rushed over there, and luckily they just gave her a little thing in the mouth and induced vomiting. It came right out. I was so fucking relieved. Couldn't be happier. That was a Christmas miracle yesterday. What happened?
Yeah, glad she's okay.
Yeah, me too. I was panicking. I'm like, oh, please come out, please, because the other thing is like opening the gut surgery type thing, and yeah. So Boo is happy and running around and feeling great. And
well, that's good to hear.
Yes. And let's say what's up to chat. We already got a couple people. JB always telling us to aim for the balls. Today we are aiming for all the jingle balls. Absolutely. And Nerd Take saying, what's up, everyone? Howdy,
what
Nerd
up,
Takes.
buddy?
Hey.
Good to see y'all. And everyone else lurking in chat. We love y'all. Gotta chill myself real quick in the chat. If you'd like to contribute and support the channel, there's a link right there. But moving forward positively. we have 4 awesome movies to talk about, roughly 30 minutes each, and then we'll get everybody on out of here. Let's start off with the first one. Let me pull up screen share here. Where's all my... Oh, these are all... Okay, let's just pick it up by the one at a time. Let's start with Christmas Vacation. National Lampoon's says right up here, you'll crack up. And I did. Stupid. Christmas Vacation came out in 98, starring Chevy Chase. We also had other familiar faces in there. Randy Quaid. Who's that one broad? The daughter who's in that movie with... I gotta look it up. Where is she? What's that movie with... oh god, now I'm forgetting all the names.
Juliette Lewis is here.
Juliette... No, wait, isn't that... Juliette Lewis is exactly what I was thinking of. Juliette Lewis, my favorite movie, Natural Born Killers with Woody Harrelson. Those are the names I was trying to think of. Woody Harrelson. Anyways.
There's also a cameo from Elaine from Seinfeld, too.
Yeah, Elaine from Seinfeld was in this movie. Loved it. Her and the neighbor. Fucking hilarious. They're just constantly getting fucked with. Who else was in this? Oh, the mom from Everybody Loves Raymond. I noticed her in here.
Right. Bill Murray's brother. This was a Bill Murray episode. We had all the brothers.
Really?
There was a lot of character actors that played bit parts as their family. A lot of them as the elderly. I don't remember all their roles, but like you see their faces, like the uncle that's smoking the cigar too. I'm like, I know that guy, but I forget what movie he was from.
Yeah.
Right.
Bill Murray's brother played the boss in this movie.
He did.
The boss? Wait, that's Bill Murray's...
Bill Murray's brother. Yeah, I love that guy. I was gonna say he was in 2 of the movies. Wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Scrooge has all 3.
Yeah. Okay.
That's his brother?
You didn't know that? I'm shocked by that one.
No.
Dude,
But we were talking about how many people in Hollywood happen to be related. And how that's interesting.
We'll get to White Christmas when we get to it. I learned about a nepotism baby thanks to that movie.
Yeah, I knew I was gonna blow your brain with that one because it was just like, you know what? I bet Paul doesn't even know. Doesn't even know that's Bill Murray's brother.
That voice is so iconic, though. You hear it in cartoons and all that. I did not know. Is his last name Murray?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. They're brothers.
Well, I didn't know if like he took on a stage name or something like that. What the fuck?
It's not like a Charlie Sheen, Emilio Estevez situation.
That's... But they set the standard for fucking, changing the last name. So I never know. Brian Doyle Murray. No shit.
That made me laugh. You would have the best way to cut off. They set the standard for fucking.
Facts. But yeah, what a fucking... what a trip, yeah. This is a great one, says Nerdtext. All right, so this was my first time watching this movie, and I didn't know what to expect. Man, like, I see kind of like where people bring up like they're like the crazy suburban family almost, and like right off the bat, like one of the first scenes of them, like the first scene of them singing Christmas songs, and just like the smile and look on Chevy Chase's face, like fucking like like just so creepy. Like he did that throughout the whole movie, and I'm like, all right, there's that creepy suburban type, type style. Yes, I don't know.
Yes, it captures, as I like to say, a Midwest Christmas very perfectly.
Yes,
it does.
It really does.
It's it wasn't this also Chicagoland area too? This one takes place in.
I don't know if it took place in it, but he was definitely always wearing Bears memorabilia or jerseys.
Bears,
he had a
Blackhawks.
He had a Blackhawks jersey.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like the
at least in Illinois,
suburbs,
maybe
upper class suburbs.
Yeah,
Chicago.
Yeah,
But I
sure.
think they actually filmed it in Breckenridge, Colorado.
That
Yeah.
makes sense, but I feel like the vibe of it was like very Midwest, upper middle class kind of feel to it. And
For
obviously,
sure.
I'm a suburban Illinois boy, so I'm like, oh yeah, I've had plenty of these Christmas experiences.
Right. I have one gripe about the movie, and it's called Christmas Vacation, yet they stay home.
You've never had a stay-home vacation?
It's called a staycation.
All the family comes to them. It's their
Call
vacation.
it Christmas staycation then. They didn't have that term back in the 80s, I guess.
Well, everyone else is on vacation, or the way I always thought of it, and especially because of like the song. Like I feel like I don't know, Christmas movies tend to be targeted towards like kids a lot of the times, you know. And I always thought of it as like, you know, Christmas Vacation. Like kids are on Christmas vacation. They're
from school
home
and
from
yeah,
school.
yeah.
Like I thought that's kind of like what they were talking about, you know.
Makes sense.
Of course,
that makes sense.
Because they have all their family come over. Obviously, there's plenty of like those fun instances where they hit like on those memories of like past nostalgia, like especially when he's up in the ceiling watching the old movies from his childhood, and then they quickly followed up with that humor where he falls through the ceiling.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, it's too funny.
But I just love how like crazy he seems about everything, putting up hundreds of thousands of lights, making sure to get the biggest fucking Christmas tree. Doesn't matter if it fits in there, he'll make it work. Like, I love the obsessed like nature of Chevy Chase to just be like, this needs to be the biggest, bestest Christmas ever, like almost psychotic. And then he right off the bat too, like it's a National Lampoon movie, but because it's a Christmas movie, you're like thinking, oh, this is gonna be all like nice and family friendly. But then he's like, hey guys, look at that deer over there, and he's flipping off the fucking truck that's chasing him. I was like, oh, okay, this is gonna be great.
Yeah, he's flirting with the girl in the car next to him, or driving home with his family.
I was speaking of flirting. I like the scene where he's flirting with the girl at the perfume shop, and he's just like, "My wife, she passed away." It's just like,
or no, it's like my dear wife, or he said something. He's like, she's not dead, but we're divorced.
Oh yeah, we're divorced. Yeah, that's my late wife. Oh my god.
Yeah, my late wife.
Oh my
Wasn't
god.
that also a Marshall Fields that they were in that store? Or was that a Macy's?
It was one of those.
Yeah,
definitely one of those. Those
because Marshall's is more of the Midwest vibe, and I can't remember if they named the store.
Right. Oh my god. But yeah. Fucking I was dying laughing the entire time. Let me see here. When the family starts showing up, yeah, that was hilarious. And then Randy Quaid. I'm assuming that Randy Quaid has made multiple appearances in these Griswold movies.
Yeah, he's a staple.
He's a staple. Yeah, so this is my first time. So when they introduced him, right after the Christmas lights come on, he's like, "Wait, what are you fucking doing here?" It's his cousin, right, in the movie? I think so.
Yeah,
brother-in-law.
Brother-in-law.
His cousin. I can't remember.
Right, I think it is his brother-in-law.
I think call him Cousin Eddie.
Yeah,
I think it is Cousin Eddie.
Oh yeah, they do say that, but I could have swore at some point they said he was his
brother-in-law.
brother-in-law.
He does.
I don't know.
You're right. They do call him Cousin Eddie, but at the end of the movie, I do remember them saying.
It could be like cousin once removed or something, because the cousin rules get a little weird.
True.
Something like that.
So who knows?
That sounded like you were about to go into a whole nother thing, Insidious. The cousin thing gets weird.
Well, it is like I remember like my cousin was like, she had her kids over. It's like, oh, it's your cousin Insidious. I didn't say that obviously, but
yeah.
It's like, wait, her kids are, because it's like, what kind of fucked up math is this? Jesus, I think I'd be like an uncle or something. The cousin.
Yeah,
I'm your cousin.
That happens sometimes. Like when I was like 5, I had cousins who were like in their late 20s, early 30s, and I just always called them my aunt and uncle because it didn't register in my child brain that they could possibly be my cousins because they were so much older.
Right, like it made more sense. Yeah.
I had the same thing. I have technically he's my nephew and I'm his uncle. But he's like he's like 5 years older than me. So they just called us cousins. But technically he was my nephew and I was his uncle.
I know that feeling all too well.
They're like, the math doesn't math here. Your guys are cousins.
Yeah, my nephew's 5 years younger than me, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Right. Good old fucking. Never mind. I gotta stop ending sentences with fucking.
Good old fucking.
Good old fucking. Let's see here. What other scenes were great from this? This is yeah, just a good old Christmas movie, inviting the family over and the shenanigans coming out, coming together. Not really much of a plot, other than, yeah, it's just a series of goofy events.
He just wants to have a good Christmas vacation with his family, and get his Christmas bonus and give them a pool.
That's all it is. And then shenanigans entail, with the family coming by, the cousin Eddie with his fucking Rottweiler.
Yeah, he was not expecting Cousin Eddie to show up. I don't think he was invited.
He wasn't.
Like the best part about the whole Cousin Eddie thing is how he offers to buy him like all the Christmas stuff when he's poor, and he just starts loading up the cart with stuff.
Yeah.
He had a list ready. He's like, "Oh, here's the list. Oh, and Clark, I want to get you something really nice."
Yeah. Buy yourself something really nice.
Well, everything he was putting in the cart was dog food. So how much food did
that was the
dog
best
eat?
part about
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh, and when the dog was like hacking up a bone under the table, and he's like, "Oh, you shouldn't feed him from the table." He's like, "No, no, no." So he must have gotten into the garbage.
He's down there with a bone. Oh my god.
Speaking of other animals, there's that funny bit with the squirrel when they're putting up the tree.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. They're more afraid. They're freaking out over a squirrel. I love that so much. And it resonated just because it's like you do see like I don't know. You almost get people would get that kind of reaction to a squirrel versus a Rottweiler or some other giant dangerous animal. We'll pet the shit out of a cat that could easily claw the shit out of me, but a fucking squirrel, fuck that. I don't want to get near that.
Well, it's also because it's a wild squirrel, so that's also another reason why. Where it's
Yeah, they don't want to get rabies.
It's every person's fear when they go get a fresh tree that they're going to like bring home a squirrel or some other animal into their house, and they're going to try to get it out of their house.
Yeah, that's too funny.
Well, have any of you ever had a squirrel get loose in your house?
Wasn't this also? Oh, sorry.
I was just asking, has anyone ever had a squirrel get loose in your house?
I have not.
It's
No,
freaking
thankfully.
wild. Let me tell you. No, when I was a kid, one of my dogs had like knocked out a squirrel, and she went up and started like sniffing it. So all of a sudden, it, like woke back up, and grabbed her neck, and like the dog panicked because now there's like the squirrel just attached to her neck. So what does the dog do? Run straight inside. So
Oh
now
my!
you have this dog running around with a squirrel attached. So when the squirrel is attached to Chevy Chase on his back, that just brought back the memories.
Oh my god!
My god!
You're like flashbacks. I need to turn this movie off.
Now,
Exactly.
I also don't remember too. Wasn't this also the movie where the cat was like chewing on the electrical lights and then it
Yes.
just gets zapped to death?
Yes,
It was.
the aunt that I don't know if she was invited as well, or she showed up later. The aunt, she was senile. She was with the guy with the toupee smoking the cigar.
Yeah.
She started wrapping. Her thing was she just grabs things from her house and starts wrapping it as gifts, and she wrapped her own cat, and that's how the cat got invited to the party.
Yeah, the cat. She wrapped her Jello mold. It was leaking.
Yeah,
I had an aunt like that
oh my god.
where she would just give you reuse stuff as a gift.
My god. JB in chat saying Cousin Eddie is never invited. He even crashes the party in Rocky Horror Picture Show. He's also saying a Rottweiler could bite your hand off. A squirrel could will bite your finger off. And also, I have a pet chinchilla, and when it's time to put them back in the cage, oh my god, is that what it's
I
like?
love chinchillas.
Chinchillas
They're so
are
soft.
they are. I love watching
But-
them take their little sand baths, fucking rolling around. That's what
Yeah,
Beerus
so
does in
cute.
the litter box. You little fucking chinchilla, stinky ass motherfucker. I'm looking at him.
Yeah, he's gross.
That is nasty. Anyways, enough of Beerus. He's just being a good boy right now. But
Oh, but I think I had muted myself before, but I was trying to say that, yeah, like the squirrel thing, like I get some people being afraid of them, because they're like rodents or they could be, they're wild animals and stuff. But it's like, you know, people that are afraid of rats. You know,
Right.
it makes sense, but I think they're cute.
Yeah, yeah. Wait, one of these movies, somebody said that a mouse was cute. A rat was cute. No? No, never mind. I'm
No,
thinking of something else.
I'm quoting somebody else.
Oh, I think so too. All right, I think I know what's going on here. Let me see. What else? Oh man. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
We should talk about his job. Can someone cover
Yes.
what Clark's job is?
Oh
exactly?
yeah, I wanted to mention that. I thought, like, yeah, because I had completely like not ever picked up on that. I was a kid normally, you know, watching these movies, so rewatching it, like when I found out what he did and the way he was like describing it, and he's like a food additive like person, and he's talking about, oh, I came up with this coating that like coats the cereal. And I was like,
Has no
this fucking
nutritional,
guy, yeah,
non-nutritional.
yeah,
coating.
non-nutritional food additive or something. I was like, oh my god! I was like, yes, this is the problem with our food. Like, this is what RFK is gonna be trying to stop.
We need to stop the non-additives that the Griswolds put into our food. There you go.
Yeah, I can't remember which one of the National Lampoon movie it was, but there's like one scene I remember in one of the movies where he like takes out like a bag of milk and cookies, and he just kind of eats it in front of somebody. I don't think it was this movie, but for some reason I feel like it was at the same time.
No, I don't remember
It
that.
was so weird. It's just like his job is just like basically chemicals and food and trying to make them taste good and like weird.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Oh, too funny. Yeah, this movie has definitely made me want to watch the other Griswold National Lampoon movies because yeah, like I said, this is my introduction to it. I know.
European Vacation is one of my favorite ones.
Yeah,
Okay.
or say Vegas Vacation.
Vegas is also really good for a later one. Cousin
Yeah.
Eddie really steals the show in that one.
Okay.
Yes. And the kids are all older too.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's a different daughter because the daughter died of a drug overdose.
Oh wait, in the movie or
In
the
real
actual
life.
actress?
Real
Yeah,
life.
the actual actress, yeah.
Oh shit. Wait, there was more than one daughter?
Well, for the actress,
That's kind of
yeah.
the thing is like the kids change, I think, in the movies.
Quite often? Okay. Because I'm like, whatchamacallit didn't die, right? The bitch from
Yeah, no,
Natural Born Killers?
they changed the kids like throughout the movies. Yeah.
Right on, yeah.
Yeah,
Regular
Vacation. That one's a hard watch. It's
Oh,
very
man.
brutal. It's funny, but it's brutal funny.
Oh, I love it. I'm definitely gonna be dipping into the rest of these movies. I don't know why, like certain movies just, you know, you don't get to them, you know, like I don't know why the only National Lampoon movie probably I've ever watched was Van Wilder.
That's wild.
That is
Pun
wild.
intended.
Yeah, I've never seen
Yeah.
Animal House. Never seen. Wait, is it Animal House? Not Animal House. Is it the one with the toga?
Yeah.
Toga.
Yeah, that's Animal House.
Never seen that. Never seen any of these Christmas Vacations. I've like never seen much of any National Lampoon. I don't know. Never came across, or I just never stopped to watch it. I don't know why, but
Yeah, and I was saying, to be fair, like the Van Wilder movie's okay and everything. It's just not. It doesn't
It's not the
feel
same.
quite at the same level, yeah, that these other ones were. You know,
Yeah.
like at that point, like it had already lost its like
magic.
yeah, like it
Well,
was
that's
still
the-
funny. It fit the time period, but you know,
Yeah, it was
It wasn't as good
2000s
as
funny.
these.
That's the best way to
Yeah.
say it.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like, because every time I turn on a national, like I've seen scenes and bits and pieces from like Animal House and Christmas Vacation, like so I've seen, and I definitely feel a style, almost as if they're like SNL movies, you know. Like
Well, yeah,
you could,
these were like the original
bunch of-
SNL guys, you know.
exactly.
Like Aykroyd, Chevy Chase.
Yep. But just like you could tell when a movie, like certain styling of the way it's shot, like Blues Brothers, it's like, I don't know, something you could tell right away that it's like an SNL type movie or a National Lampoon movie. Like it has that, I can't, other than style,
Timeless.
just, yeah. But, yeah, no, so when I was watching this one, I'm like, oh yeah, this just feels like a National Lampoon movie does not, like, Van Wilder does not feel like a National Lampoon movie. Like you said, it's just a generic 2000s, mid 2000s fucking Ryan
It's
Reynolds.
a time capsule. That's what it is. I call those movies like time capsules, even though this one kind of is. It is still very timeless at the same time.
Right.
Yeah, because
That's-
most of the National Lampoon movies are kind of weird.
Oh, they're all weird.
Yeah, if you look through them, man, there's a bunch
man.
I've just never even heard of.
Yeah,
Any that come off the top of your head? Let me see. Let's look up National Lampoon
Oh,
movies.
like they did a bunch, like a bunch of them that are like random spin-offy ones.
yeah.
Straight
these-
to DVD.
The
style.
four good ones are Regular Vacation, European Vacation, Christmas Vacation, and I'd even say honorable mention to Vegas. Vegas was
Yeah.
good, but it wasn't great. It was
Right.
like the last hurrah. You can tell.
Mm.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
That's right. National Lampoon was originally a magazine. Ah. Then they started making movies. Animal House. Their second movie is called Movie Madness. Never even heard of that one.
Yeah, never heard of that one either.
Vacation. National Lampoon's
Punked.
Joy of Sex. Giggity. That was okay. So those are from from Animal House to Christmas Vacation. Was the original company, and then J2 Communications, I guess, bought them out afterwards, and then that's when you get a bunch of weird ones.
Yeah, the cash grabs.
The Loaded
Yeah.
Weapon, Samuel L. Jackson, and fucking who's that? Emilio.
We were just talking about him, Paul.
Sorry, yeah. And then Van Wilder was under this hole, and then National Lampoon Inc. bought them back out in 2003. And yeah, they got a ton of movies I just never fucking see, even in the mid 2000s. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah, they
Yeah, but-
made a ton of movies in the 2000s.
You need to see all the vacation ones, Paul. They're great.
I will, absolutely.
There's a million movies Paul hasn't seen that he needs to see.
That's why I do book club. That's why we do movie book club. That's why there's 4 movies during movie episodes, because I really have a lot of movies to get through. Amin Ra saying moo. What's up, Amin Ra? How you doing?
Moo moo to you.
Yes. Hell yeah. That's thanks to this show, I've watched I've caught up on quite a bit, and I still have a lot to go. That's kind of why I like doing this. Let me see. Oh, Eric Foreman's sister died of OD. Also, oh my god. Wait, was
Yeah.
that wasn't from, she wasn't in the National Lampoon movie, was it?
No.
No.
Okay.
That's
he's
70
just-
show. Or
That's just
whatever.
another, yeah. Oh my god. Right.
I missed that 70 show. It was actually good. I used to watch it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That 70 show was great. Oh my god. Literally up until when Eric Foreman left, like those last 2 seasons, I was like,
Yeah.
that's not great. But
My favorite
First,
episode of that 70 show is when he goes and like streaks in front of Dwight D. Eisenhower. I think that's one of my favorite ones.
oh yeah, the streaking one. That is a classic.
Wee wee pee pee. Former President Dwight Eisenhower. I'm like, this is great writing.
Amazing. Good old watching even like because that made me think of they don't make them like they used to, and man, watching all these movies, especially this and Scrooge coming out late 80s, feel like you could definitely get that late 80s feel from those movies. Jingle All the Way just is a perfect 90s movies encapsulation. It's fucking hilarious. And then White Christmas, man, those the good old 50s, and it's like each one of these movies, I'm like, god damn, these eras were so fucking great. And I'm like, it's so sad to see the current state of movies and things. It's just like so many scenes that I've seen in all these movies that I'm like, they wouldn't even consider doing that today. Like, it's
Oh yeah. Well, it's
It's-
like what we're talking about too. Like these movies are made by, legends. They were all legends, and they were hanging out with other legends from, that time period. Like I said, you go and watch Christmas Vacation, and all the relatives, like those people were like either famous bit actors or just like former like big movie stars too that they got in there.
right.
Right.
And then on top of that too, we're talking about like when SNL was like right at their like real hype of just like pumping out like bit after bit, star after star. This is like the time where we're talking about like Chris Farley and Adam Sandler weren't that far off, but it was also like Dan Aykroyd and Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd, and did I say Dan Aykroyd? Bill Murray and all them.
Yeah.
Who else? The writer in Ghostbusters, Egon. I always forget his name.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh
can
my
see his
God.
face.
I know. I forget. He passed away sadly.
Yeah.
But you also had the Reitmans too. Like Ivan Reitman is the son of the other Reitman, who was also like a big writer and comedy writer too. Like like I said, this was like
Harold Ramis. God, it was
Harold
driving me
Ramis,
crazy.
there it is.
Driving me crazy. There we go.
Thank you. But like Harold Ramis and all that, like these were like actually really good comedy writers and everything.
Mhm.
And you know, we had like Belushi as well, the good Belushi, not his brother, who's still alive, sadly.
Yeah.
Although he made an appearance in one of the movies.
He sure did.
So like I said, like this was like the high time of like American culture, not only for like action movies, but comedy as well. You know, a lot of like great comedic writers came from this generation as well, especially too Second City. Shockingly enough,
Yes.
to go with the Midwest reference there as well. A lot of them were big Midwest fans.
Yeah. There's a Second City not too far from me on the north side on North Avenue, and I'm always interested to check that out because yeah, that's where SNL went to get half of their stars. It's insane.
Yeah, it's a dying crop. You know, I think '05 was the last time SNL really had like an all-star cast, but I don't know. I'm not seeing any like new talent replace them. That's the sad part.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of current talent has not been able to replace previous talent.
Yeah, I would say the funniest person, that's been through there recently was Shane Gillis, and they
fired him.
didn't keep him around.
They fired.
Yeah,
they
fired him.
fucked up. They fucked up. He's like the biggest comic now. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, I mean, there's still some good comics out there. Chicago is an underrated city for comedy.
Yeah.
And it's also, like I said, the reason why I think I connect with a lot of these movies a lot more with, especially because when Dan Aykroyd, he loved Chicago even though he's not from here, but he
Right.
really nailed that like Midwest humor, and like a lot of these people really like I think that's why I just love these movies so much. It's just because it really resonates with me because like it feels like a Midwest. Like the Blues Brothers is one of my favorite comedy movies of all time.
Shit, Coneheads feels very Midwestern.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
it just hits. It just hits very right, you know.
Yeah. I think you know what, that's a good point. Like I think a lot of these, yeah, like you said, Blues Brothers, a lot of these like SNL people, maybe not even from Chicago, but there was something about Chicago in the Midwest that they just loved imitating. And yeah, like
Mhm.
all the movies, a lot of the skits, you know, you got the fucking Da Bears.
Da Bears.
Da Bears.
Doubles.
But yeah, man, and it's probably makes sense because they probably came to Second City a lot, and they're like, yeah, these Midwestern comedians are fucking hilarious. So you just got this nice sprinkle of like Midwestern all over these movies and entertainments during the mid and late to early 90s
yeah.
and 80s.
Wayne's World and everything too. Also SNL skits.
Yeah, for
JB
sure. I was gonna say like the Midwest was like a much more like prominent part of our culture like back then. I think you know like you
Yeah.
said like it was mentioned in a lot of things. There was like a lot of TV shows, Married with Children and stuff like that too.
Yep.
you
Oh
know.
yes.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like the one scene in Wayne's World with Alice Cooper going over the history of Milwaukee.
Yeah.
It's still one of the
Milwaukee.
yes, it's still one of the best ones, you know.
For sure, yeah. Again, yeah, another SNL movie, Midwest. They're in Aurora. They literally,
Mhm.
funnily enough, I say this all the time. I dox myself all the time. But that scene in Wayne's World where they're rocking out to Bohemian Rhapsody and they drive down that one street with the little Indian on top of a building. I live fucking right down the street, and that Indian is still there. It's amazing. They never took it down.
Yeah, over the years, it's like it's no longer a cigar shop. Obviously, at one point it was like an eyeglasses
Doctor?
place, and they put
Yep.
like eyeglasses on it.
on him, and it said, "I can see now."
I'm just waiting for them to capitalize and bring out another Stan Makita donuts. It's
Oh
so
my
long
God.
overdue.
Too funny. Yeah, JB saying Coneheads are from France, not the Midwest. We are French.
France. We're from France. God, that movie is just pure like Dan Aykroyd.
I love it. Oh, I'm trying to think of the what do they say about Eggo waffles or pancakes?
Oh,
That scene where they're fucking giant pile of pancakes, and it's like,
I
time for
know.
consumption.
It's just-
JP's asking, is it a weed shop now? It's right next to a weed shop. That's for sure. Yeah,
could be. They had to get rid of the Indian though because it's racist now.
it's still there. I thought that they would take it down. There's so many other iconic Chicago landmarks that I almost said landmines. Landmarks that were in movies, like even in the same scene from Wayne's World. They drive down another street off of near Cicero, the town of Cicero, where there was like a pile of cars all stacked on like pinned through just a giant,
Kinda
Yeah.
like a pole, and that used to be there. That they took that down like 2 decades ago, or like 10-15 years ago. They took it down, and
I remember it was like a big thing in the newspaper too. They were like, everyone was
Yeah.
like upset about it.
for sure, yeah, I know. I was too. I used to drive by because I used to work by a Best Buy right down the street from that. And I'd check that thing out. I'm like, that's fucking cool. And then they took it down one day, and I'm like, I'm upset.
Ugh. So I
Seth
think we
the
should get.
Just saying, what's up to Seth? How you doing, DJ?
Hey, Seth, how you doing, buddy?
Maintain
Hey.
low tones with me. Maintain low tones. But we're talking about Christmas Vacation.
I was
not-
like gonna
not
say we
the-
should circle back to the movies that we're talking about here.
Yes. We veer off here on Book Club. We love to talk about the.
Yeah, we gotta stay on topic. Insidious has an out. A hard
do as
out,
well.
doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on. Oh yeah. Carl has to be out too because he's playing games with Seth later. Hot dog. You guys playing what? Double Dragon Gaiden?
Yes, sir.
Oh, pick Sonny Lee. That's all I have to
will.
say. Alrighty. Any last thoughts on Christmas Vacation before I make the next move? Yeah.
Was it a shovel or a garbage can lid that he uses that coating on to go faster?
Oh yeah, I think it was a garbage can lid. Because it was a cylinder.
Because I
Is that-
can't
Yes.
remember. It was
Later
just, I
on,
just
I
remember.
remember cousin Eddie picking it up, and there's like a hole burned through it.
That shit
That
was
seems-
funny.
This seems hilarious.
The coding and then literally because I was watching as I was driving, so I had the little picture in picture. But even then, I saw the fucking just zoom, fucking like lightning speed. Then he just flashed. I'm like, oh shit. That movie, yeah, Christmas Vacation's so ridiculous, man. I love it.
Yeah.
It's just that late
And I was
80s.
gonna say, like, as ridiculous and goofy as it is, though, like, it is still like heartwarming and like touching at times too. You know, like he's just again trying to like his damnedest to have a good Christmas. You know, and that's it's very relatable. You know, like during the holidays, like things get
Mhm.
hectic and everything seems out of control, especially when dealing with family and stuff like that. And you might not always even like most of your family,
Yeah.
but you still, you know, like want them around and love and care about them. And
Yeah.
he just,
It-
really wanted to give them a good Christmas. And when his father, you know, like gives him that little talk about like, you know, like you cocked it up, but like it's okay, it happens. You know, like I love that part of the movie. I thought that was a very touching scene.
Yeah.
They
it's
get-
like
Gabs was
I-
crying throughout most of these movies.
Oh yeah, I cry at everything though.
I
Like,
cried a
I-
little
I-
bit too.
I still get a little emotional, like I said, now that I'm getting older too. Like the scene where he's watching the old movies in the attic, even though it
Yeah.
has like that funny out. I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm starting to feel that, you know, as I get older, you know.
Exactly. Yeah, I say
Right.
that part makes me tear up too. Even though he looks silly with the you know the head wrap on and wearing like the women's clothes and stuff, and then and then when his wife pulls the thing and he
Yeah.
falls down, I'm like, why the hell would he be sitting there? Like,
Yeah.
but okay.
Oh man, yeah, so good. I am glad that this movie was chosen. Actually, I kind of chose it for Gabs. She's like, either this, Bad Santa, or another movie, and I'm like, let's go with Christmas Vacation. I haven't seen that one.
I think you picked a good one over Bad
yes.
Santa for sure.
Bad Santa would have been good too. I'm still gonna watch. I'm gonna watch Bad Santa. I'm gonna probably play like after this. I'm gonna because the plan was to play all these movies like nonstop for like up until today's show and stuff. But yesterday I wasn't home because of the cat thing, so I'm like, all right, no streaming on the Discord right now. But I think I may afterwards still play these movies. So anyone that watches this episode is like, damn, I'm in the mood for watching these movies. Join down below, hit the link, join the Discord, and I'm gonna be playing these, and maybe I'll put some other Christmas movies on there and just have a good old Discord watch party whenever you want to pop in and out. But
Nice.
yeah, I was happy to all these movies, super stoked to check them out and watch them. Oh, I think all of these were new except for My Choice, which I haven't even watched that in a long time, so it was almost like a new watch for me. So like practically all these movies were fresh new watches for me.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, let me pull up the next one here. GG's
Drum roll.
You'll hear an ambulance passing by too.
That works.
Or not. Never mind.
We'll stick it in the 80s. We'll stick to the 80s and do one that came out the year before. This was 88, Scrooge. 89 was Christmas Vacation, so 1 year apart. Scrooge with freaking Bill Murray. I did not know his brother was that other guy. Who else? Oh shit, music by Danny Elfman. I just saw that in the Wikipedia.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that
Yeah.
either.
Yeah, it's got such good music.
Makes sense.
Apparently, like the soundtrack for this movie didn't come out until somewhat recently.
Really?
You'll get it. Yeah.
No
That's
shit.
weird.
But Bill Murray's other brother is in this as well, because the guy who's playing his brother in the movie is his actual brother.
Oh,
No shit.
okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Let's
So all
see.
three.
Let me see which
Yeah, and
this
like
Murray.
where the other movie was like very obviously quintessentially Chevy Chase, I feel like this movie, was like just a very Bill Murray movie. Like his acting in this one.
Could
Yeah.
I ask who wrote the script for this one? I'm curious.
Let's see. 98 Christmas Fantasy Black Comedy, directed by Richard Donner and written by Mitch Glazer and Michael O'Donoghue. What? O'Donoghue? I don't know how to say. Odonoghue. How do you fucking even say
O'Donoghue?
that? O'Donoghue.
Irish.
Irish, yes. Let me see what these guys have done. Mitch Glazer has done. He's been a writer on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think there's a lot of Saturday Night Live ties in this movie.
Yeah, because Mitch Glazer, I'm like, I know that name because I think he's been talked about a lot.
He did.
A lot of these movies.
He was associate producer on Lost in Translation, 2003. Writer for I don't know any of these movies, but I'll read them out loud. Off and
That was
Running.
another Bill Murray movie, wasn't it?
Yeah, Lost in Translation was.
Lost in Translation
Yep.
was yeah. But 91 Off and Running, never heard of it. 93 Three of Hearts, never heard of it. 98 Great Expectations. I don't know any of
I've
these
heard of
movies
that
this guy's
one.
done.
Yeah, it's a good book.
What's a good book?
Great
Great
Expectations.
Expectations.
Oh, right on. Lowered Expectations. That's all I,
I just think
of.
about that Mad TV skit all the time. I want a woman with giant hands that can crush walnuts.
And let me see the other writer for this movie. Two Saturday Night Live writers. For the most part.
Yeah, and then this movie too was filled with people. Like
Yes.
every
Bobcat.
Yeah, I was gonna
Bobcat
say like
Goldthwait?
every turn. Yeah.
Yep.
Love Bobcat.
Who was the fairy? The first one, the Christmas Past girl.
Oh, I
Ghost
just
of
had her
Christmas
name
Past.
up.
David. Oh no, wait, that's Christmas Past. Present?
The Christmas Past was the guy who sang "Hot, Hot, Hot."
David.
Christmas-
Yeah, the taxi
Present
driver. He
was
was
the
taxi
fairy.
driver in that one. The fairy one was present. Sorry.
Yeah, Carol Kane.
Feel like I know her.
Let's see, what is she in?
She's in other stuff. The only recent thing I could remember her being in was that what was that show? Unstoppable Kimmy Schmidt or something like that.
Unbreakable
she was
Kimmy
in
Schmidt?
that. Yeah. She was the landlady.
Yeah,
landlord
that's
in that.
her. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. Yep. That's who that
Adam's
was.
Family Values.
Let's see what movies she's.
Princess
yeah.
Bride. There's another one.
Oh,
you
wow,
probably
yeah.
would
Yeah,
remember
Princess
from.
Bride. Yeah, that's a good one.
Let's see. She was in the Muppet movie in the 70s. Holy shit.
Yes, I remember that.
Her first films were in 71. So she's been for a.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean though. There's like a lot of people that even like you might not remember or recognize, but but they're
Have
from
had
a bunch of other stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, from
Yeah.
old timey Hollywood, you know.
Yeah, a lot of this, to be honest, it's like Scrooge is one of the ones that I haven't watched as many as the other three on this list.
Right.
Like this is the one that I've watched, I think, a decent amount of times, but I can only remember mostly just the first half. It's always like the end where I have like a lot of issues remembering how this movie kind of resolves. But it's based off of Scrooge, so I kind of, Christmas Carol, so
Right.
I know how it ends per se, because this is actually a very famous, Christmas story.
Right.
Right, exactly. And it always goes
actually
the same.
Adapted for modern audiences at the time,
At the time, yeah.
Right.
And what a perfect.
Right, and they actually did it well and it worked, like it wasn't like it wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this was a great adaptation. Like, and Bill Murray being Scrooge again, like he
Perfect
plays the
Scrooge.
perfect fucking Scrooge. Just like he plays Scrooge in all his movies. He's just always a fucking dick.
Always just a bit of an asshole, full of himself. Yeah.
Is it fair to call Bill Murray an actor if he just plays himself?
I mean, that's most
I feel
actors.
like a lot of them do, yeah.
It's a good chunk of actors that just play themselves. Playing with themselves, yes. But let's see. Bill Murray is just so like the opening scene of this movie where they're like showing the commercials for what was it, IBC, but it's like on ABC or whatever the fuck, and he's like, nah, I don't like it, and then he's like, roll mine, and it's like dark and demented, people dying and shit. He's just laughing. He's like, yeah, this is what I want for Christmas.
Yeah, the fear mongering.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it was so good.
Yeah, I think isn't that like, I think that was also meant to be like a social commentary too as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I felt like it too, like the whole, just the whole thing in general, like that. Yeah, it's a TV station, and the content that he's trying to put out, and especially at that time of year, and that like he wants to make everybody feel like afraid and scared, and that make people be at home watching TV during Christmas when they should be like spending time with their family and stuff. So like. I definitely think they were trying to say something,
yeah.
Well, I think what they were trying to say was here you had like a successful businessman who really had it all. And then he started seeing things, right? Starts having hallucinations. So it was really probably like the downfall of a man that had untreated syphilis. 'Cause let me tell you, on top of the world, and then he gets up, he's probably going to prison because he took over the TV station, held everyone hostage. Throwing it away, messing up everything right on my TV, man.
Yeah, I know that scene reminded me of They Live. I'm like, oh, okay, taking over the station with a shotgun. I've seen this.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Real quick, JB mentioned, what about Vacation 2015, referring to the last movie. I just looked it up. They made a Vacation movie, I think based off the Griswolds thing, because it's featuring Ed Helms and Christina Applegate as current modern day Griswolds.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say they
Chevy
tried
Chase
like,
is even in it.
rebooting it. Right?
They did
like,
try
doing
rebooting
a
it.
spin-off
Oh,
reboot.
my
I never
goodness.
saw it. Yeah.
I
forgot
think
that
tried
entire-
is the
Tried's the
word
key
there.
word there, yes. Oh my god, I had to look that. I just looked that up real quick based off of JB's comment. I'm like, oh my god, I may have seen
2015
it
was
actually.
10 years ago, guys, almost. It's
That is crazy.
If that's
That
the
is-
only one you've seen, then I'm mad.
Yeah, that's probably the first Christmas vacation or the Christmas or vacation movie that I watched. I don't remember it, so it wasn't good, obviously. But it's just your modern, day comedy that I probably chuckled at because Ed Helms and Christina Applegate, whatever. Funny. But back to Scrooge here. Sorry, derailed there. Sidetrack. Yes, Bobcat killed me. I love that dude's voice. I don't know why. Always sounds the same. Makes me want to watch Police Academy.
It almost feels like that was a role for Rick Moranis, and he said no.
I could see that.
Like that's what I think is also another thing too. It's just like that. It felt like Rick Moranis was supposed to be in that role, and he wasn't. And I think Bobcat Goldthwait did a good job as the Rick Moranis.
Do you know what? I agree. I could totally
could
see
be.
that.
Yeah, I could see that working. I mean, he would have been a little bit more, like a soft spoken, but he could have easily played that guy too.
Mhm.
I like Bobcat's voice better though. I don't know how to do it, but but yeah, watching him at the end was too funny too, where he just went crazy and just like ready
He
to
starts shooting
fucking
up his office.
yeah, he's ready to shoot it up. But that's right when Bill Murray had to change their heart, so he's like, "I'll join you. I'm sorry." Let's see here. Yeah. So the first ghost was Christmas Past, like you said. That was who again?
That was the God. He
His-
sang Christmas Past was the guy who did the song "Hot Hot Hot," right?
David Johannesson.
Johansson.
It's not.
Yeah.
it
Look
is
up his other
Johansson.
name.
David Johansson. Buster Point. No, wait. Yeah,
Yep, that's
Buster
it.
Poindexter.
Yep, Hot 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 guy. That's who it is.
Hot. No shit. That's all he did? Oh, he did more acting than he did fucking music. Interesting. Yeah, he had a fucking, like, wild looking face. I don't know. Like, the makeup in his face just, like...
He was great. He just like, you know what I love about it? It's like supposed to be like this spirit that's trying to change your heart, and he's like the most indifferent, don't give a shit spirit I've ever met.
Yeah.
he just gives like that vibe of like a guy who probably died of lung cancer, and this is his like eternal punishment.
Right. Well, yeah, this is kind of saying right here is Christmas Eve visited close to Christmas Past, a chain-smoking taxi driver. That's what it's. And yeah, takes him back to his childhood.
Perfect.
Watching. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I got sad at his childhood. I was like, oh, poor dad was rough on him.
Yeah, and the dad was his brother.
What
Oh yeah,
weight
the
did
dad
he
was
give
his
him?
brother.
It was.
I recognized that voice right away. I'm like, I know that fucking voice.
Gave him
What'd you
veal for
ask, Carl?
Christmas.
Yeah, veal. That's what it was.
Veal. That's what.
Real.
And then when he
Yeah,
comes,
and he's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna cry," and he's like, even Genghis Khan cried when he saw his mother. And then, of course, and his mom, says "Merry Christmas" and stuff, like,
And
he
kisses
starts
him and
crying.
everything.
Yeah, and I
His
started
dad's mocking him.
crying, and Paul was crying.
Starts mocking him. Niagara Falls. See.
oh, damn it! I was about to. What was I gonna say? Oh fuck! I lost my train of thought. With the veal thing, because doesn't he? They like leave, like they come back too, and Bill Murray's like, "Oh man, I feel bad." It's like, yeah, it's like veal back then. He now appreciate the veal in
Yeah,
modern
he's like a
times.
kid back then getting what's now a $40 cut of veal.
I was ungrateful.
It moved me.
That shit
I
is
forgot
too
about
funny.
that part. That's
Yeah, that made me crack up. Let's see, shit. But yeah, no. Trying to think of some other scenes. Christmas Present was when he was dealing with his girlfriend,
Christmas
right?
Present. I love her. She is just a vault of energy and just chaos.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, apparently she hated being in this movie, and like in between each scene was just like crying.
Really?
And yeah,
It makes it feel even better, I guess.
and part of the thing was like, I guess like Bill Murray's is like, really go ahead and hit me. And one of the things, like when she grabs his lip and pulls, it actually like separated his lip, that skin in between. So they had to stop filming for a couple days because of that. So,
damn, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
she really beats the crap out of him the entire time. She's like headbutting him, pulling him around by his lip, like you said. She's just going to town. It's like, you're gonna learn your lesson here, buddy. I'm gonna like Hulk Hogan elbow drop you, brother.
Too funny.
so worth it. She did a great job. Power to
Yeah.
her.
Even though
Amazing,
she
bro.
hated it, but yeah, she did a great job. That's funny.
Sometimes movies where where the shoots are hell, sometimes it always comes out to be like one of the best ones from that actor in that movie.
Yes.
Right, or when the co-stars
exactly.
hate each other.
Oh man.
They end up having really great chemistry when they fucking hate each other.
Speaking of that, and also it was a Christmas movie we already did on Book Club, with Nicolas Cage, John Lovitz, and whatchamacallit, Dana Carvey. They did something in Paradise.
That's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Yeah, that was an Insidious movie, wasn't it?
No, I think
no.
that was Devil. I think Devil made me do it.
Okay.
Yeah, Devil picked that one.
And it's so funny because the story about that movie is that the directors had no idea what they were doing, and because they grabbed Dana Carvey and John Lovitz, they're like, we got a couple, and Nicolas Cage like, just improv the whole thing, and Nick Cage was like, no, tell us what to do, you need to be directing us. So they had to fucking just they pretty much did the movie themselves. They directed themselves because the actual directors was just like, go ahead, you guys know what you're doing, right? And like, yeah, we act. You help produce and fucking you direct. What the fuck? And that movie turned out. I thought it turned out great, but they hated that movie. It's so funny. You talk to, or I saw an interview with Nick Cage, and he's talking about John Lovitz, and them. They're like, "Fuck, man, that was brutal making that movie." Oh, what was it? I think Nick Cage went over to John Lovitz's house way after they did that movie, and he had a shirt from Lost in Paradise, and he's like, put that away right now.
He like had it on as a joke, and Nicolas Cage did not find it funny and made him
He
take it off.
Take that shit off.
Yeah,
yeah.
Well, Bill Murray did a lot of improv in this one. I think most of his lines were improv.
Oh yeah, Bill Murray. I think like most of the things he does is improv. He doesn't show up and read scripts. He's like, I'll do it how the fuck I want to do it.
Yeah, well, because
Right.
like Carl said, like he's basically just being Bill Murray, so it's easy, you know. Like he can just improv it, you know. He knows the character that he's trying to portray.
Exactly. Let me see. And then the Ghost of Christmas Future was a Grim Reaper like character. I don't even. Did they ever show his face or who it was?
I don't think so. I think all you did was see underneath the coat.
Right, and then
When
the
they
big
showed his
old-
face, then it turned into like a TV screen.
Right. He said something funny to him. I forgot what he said though. He said something funny to the Grim Reaper. Something along the lines of like he looks good or something like that. I don't remember, but there was a funny quick little line he said to the Grim Reaper thing, and I was like, what the fuck? Shit. But then I'm blanking because I remember I was playing a little Path of Exile while I was watching this movie, so I'm blanking on where was the moment where he had that change of heart.
I think probably when they saw, and it was like the funeral, the Christmas Future, and it turned out to be his funeral.
Yeah.
Like only his brother and his brother's wife showed up, and no one else did. And then he started to cremate him, and then he was all of a sudden inside the casket being cremated.
Oh yeah. That's
yeah, and
right.
then also too, I think when he saw like future Claire, you know, and what he had done to her, like with what he said to her, you know, like because they showed like her like being very cold and like not, you know, like that she didn't care about kids or wanting to help people anymore, you know.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like the thing. It's kind of like the, you know, I can fix her. Finally,
Yeah.
someone actually fixed her. But I guess that doesn't fit for the movie.
Too funny. But and then yeah, the scene where he comes back to and is like, "Oh my god, I appreciate everything," and yeah, grabs a shotgun, meets up with Bobcat, grabs a shotgun, and that ending was too fucking.
Yeah, well,
funny.
yeah, he's like trying to kill him, and, and Bill Murray ends up like getting him to team up with him instead.
That's so funny, that ending, yeah. But again, that's also like a Bill Murray thing because he does that in like almost any movie where he's an asshole and then he has a change of heart. Groundhog's Day, where he finally gets out of the Groundhog Day, he starts fucking, oh my god, I love you. Like it's such another trope of a Bill Murray movie where he's just like in love with life and everyone, and Yeah, honestly, Groundhog's Day is like one of my favorite movies like of all time, and watching this was just like, hey, shit, this is like another Groundhog's Day. This is great. But yeah, no, fantastic movie. I don't know what else to say about it. Let's see.
We got what, like 45 minutes left, so we probably could
Get to the
move
next
along.
movie. Alrighty. Well, any last thoughts on Scrooge before we move on?
Good movie. I need to
Overall-
watch it again.
Fun movie.
Absolutely. Once again, after this, I'll everybody join the Discord and I'll play all these movies back again. So if you're feeling it, if you're feeling it, hop in and watch. Hell yeah. Nerdy Neo's never seen Scrooge. What's up, Nerdy Neo? How you doing?
How have you never seen Scrooge, Neo? Aren't you like the same age as like Bill Murray now? And that he was in that movie.
Too funny. Oh,
Yeah, I
nice.
highly recommend you watch it. It's a super good movie. And
Very
like we
good.
said earlier, a good reimagining of a classic.
Yeah, I think all these movies are basically out there right now, depending on what you watch. The only one I don't think is as streamed as much probably is the next movie we're about to talk about.
Which is,
Jingle All the Way.
let's do it. Jingle. Where's Jingle? Arnold Braunschweiger.
Yeah, I had forgotten what exactly this movie was about. Like what
She
the
confused
plot
it
was
with
and stuff like that.
Last
I was-
Action Hero.
Yes. I was like, the toy comes to life, right? Like he's the toy. Like
No, that's funny.
Yeah. Just thinking like small soldiers.
But I mean, I was kind of close. At the end, he does end up, in
Becoming
the
the
outfit
hero.
and being the guy. I just, I was definitely mixing the two movies together.
To be fair,
right.
I kind of forgot what the movie 2 was about, but then it started and I was like, oh yeah, it's all coming back to me.
All right,
So,
this is one of the best ones that does a good job displaying what an actual postal worker is like too.
yeah. Fucking this movie had an amazing cast. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sinbad, amazing. Phil Hartman, Rita Wilson is the chick. I thought that was someone else. I forgot. Jake, we had Anakin. We watched Anakin Skywalker become Darth Vader in this
Yeah, we were
movie.
sitting there looking at this kid, and we're like, who is this kid? He looks real familiar. I'm like, yeah, he's definitely in something. I was like, I remember him.
I was
a
like,
little
that's the
bit
kid from
older.
Big Daddy, right?
Yeah, I was
I'm
like,
like,
no,
no,
that's
no.
not that kid. That's
No,
I was like, are you too old? It's like no, and then he looked it up, and I was like,
Google
oh
it.
my god, it's Anakin,
Anakin
Skywalker. How the
Skywalker.
fuck did we not
Recognize
did we
it
not
right
recognize
away.
that?
I didn't realize
Jesus
that.
Christ.
It was great. Oh my god. Who else do we have?
But that first scene with Sinbad, though, just had me dying. Like he's talking about his wife, or how that he works at the post office, and that his wife was banging everybody there but him, and just everything that he said was just so like off the wall and just so funny.
Dude, I forgot how much I love Sinbad. Sinbad was amazing in the 90s. No, I don't care what anybody says. I also have a soft spot for Sinbad because he did a funny episode of Sunny in Philadelphia, which he like played a crazy guy, and ever since then I'm like, Sinbad's the best.
Yeah, he
But-
played himself. He played Sinbad, but crazy Sinbad.
Yeah, that's what Sinbad locked away in a mental institution. That's literally what the episode was. Too funny. Sinbad and Arnold, what a great team. It's so funny when they put like these two, like an action hero with a comedian, Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan. I can't think of any other ones.
Oh yeah, no
but-
wonder you like this. It's right in your wheelhouse.
Right, action
Speaking of
hero
a
and a
person who
comedian.
also-
Who's that?
Speaking of a person who also hated the movie, it was in Jackie Chan. Hated those movies.
Oh, he hated Rush Hour?
Oh, he despised them.
Oh man, I could imagine.
I could see that, yeah.
Great movies though. I fucking love I
When
love Rush Hour.
Sinbad was kind of hardly in this movie, to be honest. Like,
Yeah, he didn't show up till about halfway.
He would just pop up occasionally.
Yeah, but he was kind of like he wasn't quite the co-star, but he kept popping up. and his story was hilarious. And yeah, just he was almost a sidekick. He tried to be a sidekick, and then Arnold went into
Exactly. So he was trying. He wanted to be a sidekick.
like no. One of my favorite scenes is when they heard that the radio station is giving away Turbo Man, and they start running down the street. Oh, they're fighting over the phone first in the diner, and then the informative black man's like, guys, the radio station's just down the street. That guy had one line, but I'm like, bravo, the one line, the informative man, just sitting behind the counter with the information to keep the story moving along. Love that. But anyways, they start running to the station, and Sinbad's got all his mail and all that stuff. He's carrying the bag. He starts throwing it to fucking loosen some weight and be able to run. Arnold's like, and he's singing or saying to himself the names of the fucking reindeer. I don't remember it, so and then fucking Sinbad's like dying and breathing hard, and he's like, I'm having fun, bye. That's all he said to him. He's like, he kept running off, and he's like, I'm having fun, bye. Oh god, Arnold will just say anything and just start making me laugh. I don't know why.
It's that accent. It's also like the funny part about this movie is like the weird two antagonists to Arnold is like one of his is like his neighbor trying to sleep with his wife.
Yeah.
And the other is this like alcoholic post office worker
who he's fighting against.
Yeah.
And then he's also fighting against everyone because he keeps going to the stores and they're laughing at his face. I love that scene. Chris Parnell is in it, where they're like, "Hey, do you have any more Turbo Man back in the back?" And they're like, "Do we have Turbo Man?" And the whole store just starts laughing at them, and it's like, that shit. I don't know. I was dying laughing, and the next like 20 minutes is of him going to stores and everyone just laughing him out of stores. I don't know why that shit made me just die laughing. I don't know why.
Yeah. Jim Belushi made an appearance as
the
shady Santa Claus.
Shady Santa Claus.
The Santa Claus ring. The fake.
Yeah, the Santa Claus ring. Counterfeiters and fucking
toys. Yeah.
That was amazing. That was a great scene as well. And then that cop that he keeps.
Yeah, that's the cop who had more screen time than Sinbad.
Yeah.
Who's probably a bigger antagonist.
Yeah.
This almost felt like a weird version of True Lies, but it was like a kid's version of True Lies for some reason. I don't know why.
It was a mix. It's a mix of a bunch. It's like Christmas mixed with True Lies mixed with Last Action Hero mixed with Kindergarten Cop. Like, they just took all the best of Arnold and like, let's make a Christmas movie out of it.
Yeah, speaking of Kindergarten Cop, where you got the "put the cookie down" line.
Yeah,
up with it.
I thought that was from Kindergarten Cop. Put that cookie down. And then I didn't realize it was just Phil Hartman going, I love your wife's cookies. You're eating my wife's cookies? Who told you could eat my cookies?
One of the best scenes in there is when Sinbad and Arnold are sitting down talking to each other, and Sinbad's just getting drunk. And he's talking about how his dad was like really shitty because he didn't get him a Christmas gift, and then it just cuts to his son being Sinbad going, "Thanks a lot, Daddy."
that was the moment I'm like, and then he became Darth Vader.
I just love that scene. It's like, how can one toy do that?
Yeah, it reminded me of a certain somebody that didn't get a Wolverine doll that he wanted for his birthday.
DSP. His whole thing is he's mad at his parents for not getting a Wolverine doll when he was a kid, and he fucking to this day brings it up.
He still talks about it.
We were laughing our asses off. We're like, Sinbad's DSP, or DSP is Sinbad, or some the other way. I was dying laughing at that too. Oh my god, we couldn't stop making that connection there. We're like, oh god, the Wolverine doll. But yeah, no, this fucking movie though was, oh my god, like honestly, like didn't have like a dull moment. It either had like a nice heartwarming moment, something funny, something crazy. Oh man, back to that cop and Sinbad fucking going like, "There's a bomb in here."
Yeah, I was just gonna bring that up. That part.
It's like bombs come through the mail every single day. And then the first one ended up being a fake. Then he tries that same shit again when the SWAT team and the cops come up. He's like,
Oh,
it's a
I
bomb.
love that scene.
And then he puts the bomb down and walks away. And then that same cop that's been harassing Arnold throughout the whole movie is like, I've been in the bomb squad for 15 years. And then fucking blows up. And Sinbad goes, that was real? This is a crazy world we're living in.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
one of the
That
best
killed me.
lines. Yeah.
Sick world we're living in. Oh god, that fucking had me dying laughing. I love that so much. Oh shit. What else? Yeah, no, just like I said, there wasn't like an ounce of fat in this movie. Like I said, I was crying too, freaking feeling bad for Anakin, and he just wants Arnold to be there. He wants not Arnold Schwarzenegger to be there, and yeah, man, it had all the, it had the comedy, had the heartwarmingness, had
Arnold.
Arnold.
Get the double man.
Yeah, I don't want to hear Turbo Man. If I hear Turbo Man one more time.
Screw you! I get the double man for my kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a heartwarming ending though. That's like if you were a dad, that like really would feel good to you.
Dude,
He
yeah.
becomes
For
Turbo
sure.
Man.
Yeah, and he's like, I don't want the doll. The kid is selfless, gives Sinbad the doll, and Sinbad's all happy. He's like,
Yeah.
what?
Right.
I
so he
spent
knows
all
that
day.
he wins as a father. He's got a good kid.
It's
He's
like
like, what?
actually a good happy ending because Sinbad can be a good dad,
Yeah,
and Arnold becomes like the greatest dad in the world to his son.
yeah,
It's a good
Yeah.
it's a good amount of like just like what you want from like a good written movie, where it's like
Yes.
everything kind of has a payoff. There's a lot of funny. There's a lot of up moments. You know,
yeah.
it's like a weird cast of characters, like the weirdo trying to sleep with his wife, but in the end he still
Yeah.
becomes like a good dad. You get the
Yeah.
drunk alcoholic, kind of don't know if he's a deadbeat dad or not, but he's trying to do right. Post office worker who gets the payoff in the end. It's great. I mean,
Yeah,
really
doesn't
was.
he
Well,
also dress up as Ultraman's like villain to the post office worker?
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, and he starts attacking Arnold's kid, trying to get the toy from him. Like they're
Yeah.
like fighting on the rooftops.
yeah. Hopefully, those cops let him give that kid the gift before they take him to jail.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say because he was definitely about
He was
to
going to jail.
go to
Yeah,
prison.
he's still not gonna be a good father.
Hey, you know what? If my dad was sent to jail because he was trying to be a good dad, I'd think
Because
that
he was
I'd love
getting
my
you
dad
Turbo
more.
Man. Yeah, you'd forgive him.
Yeah.
But he blew up some cops. That's
I love
terrorism.
it even more.
He didn't know it was really a bomb.
Yeah.
That's like all these Christmas movies. Everyone's got to be a criminal. Only the
Yeah.
bad
My
guys
dad
criminals on
awesome.
Christmas.
He fought Arnold Schwarzenegger and blew up some cops in the process while he was drunk.
Yep.
All to get me a toy? That's
All the
dad of the year.
Dad of the year. I also
Okay.
loved when Anakin was like, oh, why do I need a Turbo Man? I got the real one. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
I
I,
don't.
was gonna say I got Turbo Man at home.
Exactly.
And then I started thinking of those
part was really
memes.
cute.
It's like, hey, I want Pink Floyd. We have Pink Floyd at home. Hey, teacher, lead those kids. It's like
Yeah,
terrible
the Pink
music.
Floyd you have at home. Yeah,
Yeah, that's usually bad, but this is the good version.
right,
I-
right.
I love those parody songs where it's like the recorders playing very badly.
Oh,
Oh,
my god,
yes.
yeah, the
Yeah.
bad flute. Yeah,
The bad flute, fucking,
love
anytime it's do you remember? Do, 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 do.
You know what?
it's so
I-
aggressive.
This makes me sound like an evil person, but I don't care. The funniest thing I've ever seen was like a boxing match between two people with Down syndrome, and they were doing that with the Rocky music while they were boxing.
Amazing.
It was the greatest thing I've ever seen, and I still try to find that video to this very day because I need it in my life. Just whenever I feel upset, I should just watch that. It'll cure all of my woes.
Confirm Carl's going to hell, and we are all too for laughing at that.
I'm a gypsy, so I was like already guaranteed from birth.
Amazing.
We're so
Uh,
bad, even the Polish don't like us. So there you go.
Oh no, I like you. I represent the Polish, and I like you. So you're cool with the Polacks. I'll let them know. But hilariously enough, I was gonna mention this. The very ending, where he's with his wife. Actually, right before that, when he takes off the helmet, he's like, it's me, your dad. The wife was like, hey.
Yeah, it's just like, oh.
She's ready to fuck. And then right after that, they're back at home, and she's like, "Oh my god, you're so sweet. You did all this just to get him a toy. What did you get me?" And
Yeah,
then just
it's
a
like,
quick
can't wait
shot,
to see what you got me.
end of the movie, and I was like, "This was a setup for part 2." Totally was a setup for a part 2 that just never pulled the trigger. Although, funnily enough, there is a Jingle All the Way 2 starring Larry the fucking Cable Guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yep. Came out in 2014.
Probably did about as well as that Christmas Vacation, huh?
Yeah. Exactly. Or the remake of Vacation. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Went straight to DVD, I'm assuming both of them.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. When you said Larry the Cable Guy, I'm like, oh yeah, that definitely went straight to
Yeah,
DVD.
definitely straight to DVD. Absolutely.
Hey, that guy's rich though. I wish I had his money.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You fake
Yeah.
a hillbilly accent and make millions off of it. Let's go.
Yeah, did you ever hear ever listen to like a Ron Wright interview when they talk about like the Blue Collar Comedy Tour and stuff like that?
Uh-huh.
You should listen to them because
Yeah.
it's very funny because he always tells you like, I think I have money, but Larry the Cable Guy has like fuck you money.
Yeah. Which is funny because
Yeah, I would say Ron White is like, the only one out of all of them that I like.
yeah, for sure.
I like Bill Engvall, but he just disappeared out of all of them.
He did. I would say, yeah, those
I don't
two.
really remember much.
I
of
do
his
remember
stuff.
Bill.
He was the "Here's Your Sign" guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was his big signature bit.
But fucking Jeff and Larry just were the faces of that tour and overdone. Like I fucking got I became
They got
over
pushed too
those
hard. Yeah.
pushed too hard and
Yeah.
Well,
just
Larry
leaned too hard.
also-
He might be a redneck.
Like Larry also I guess has like a lot of like stuff in the South, like a bunch of chip companies and stuff like that. Like he invested his money very wisely to become even more rich.
Smart. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Like I remember when my folks came back from Alabama, they're like, "Here you go," and they gave me some Larry the Cable Guy potato chips. I was like, "What is this?"
If you eat these chips, you might be a redneck.
Something like that. He was like, "Get her done." I'm like, "All right."
Get shit. But yes, Jingle All the Way, fantastic movie. I'm trying to think of any other scenes that
Oh,
were.
yeah. I wanted to mention one more thing. You were saying, the part where he's in the bar, where they're in the bar together and they're talking, the two dads. And when, he says, like, the line about, like, not getting him the toy doesn't make me a bad dad, but yelling at him for no reason makes me a bad dad. That part gets me.
That's the one that made you cry.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of parts make me cry. I cry, like I said, I cry over everything. But
So you gotta tell us which parts Dad cried in every
touching.
movie. There you go.
Parents can be assholes, so it's
Right.
nice to see. Yeah, it's nice that he, was like realizing that part, like that, because earlier, Sinbad had said like that this was the one chance that they get to like prove themselves a year, that they fuck up all year, and this is their chance to come through, and that they didn't, But yeah, that's not what makes them bad dads. It's the other shit.
Yeah.
Right. And Scrambles the Death Dealer, what's up in chat saying, are you spending Christmas at Daddy's house? You going to Daddy's house? Oh my god. What's up, Scrambles? Another scene that I was gonna bring up that was just kind of funny, a quick scene, was when Arnold, right after the parade starts, and Arnold, they find Arnold and put him in the fucking suit, the Iron Man suit, pretty much, the Turbo Man suit, and they're like, saying all this shit, like, oh man, yeah, thank God, this is how this works, and this is how this works. And like, hey man, thank you so much for doing this last minute. Listen, the last guy, freak accident, but good news, we heard from the doctor today, and he's able to move his thumbs now, so, like, and they're like, he's like, what? I thought that, I was dying at that, like, this suit is gonna fuck you up, dude. Yeah, man, fucking fantastic movie. If you haven't seen Jingle All the Way, perfect 90s Christmas movie. Yeah, just Sinbad, Phil Hartman, and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, what else can you want? And you got and Anakin Skywalker. Like,
Young
my
Anakin
God.
Skywalker.
Young Anakin Skywalker. Damn, I need to do some research on these movies beforehand, like in development and stuff like that, because like stories like what Insidious said about the one broad didn't like doing Scrooged. I'd like to pull up more stories like that, but I did this episode too quickly, and all I have is a Wikipedia page, so I don't got time to be scrolling through all this. But yeah, future episodes, I'm gonna do some more deep digging in these deep dicking into these movies.
Deep
Hell yeah.
dickin'.
For sure. All right. Any last thoughts on Jingle All the Way before we move on to our final movie?
No, I think I said all my piece.
Jamie,
Nope,
do
I
it
think-
now.
I think this movie had the most felonies. So out of the criminal Christmas movies, this one takes the cake.
Bombing a police officer, a SWAT squad, takes the cake. I think that's right. Hell yeah. And Scrambles saying, chilling at work, right on Scrambles. Scrooged is awesome. Yes, we just talked about Scrooge. And we have one last movie on the docket here. We did the 80s, we did the 90s, and now we're doing the 50s. Where are you? And there we go. White Christmas, starring Bing Crosby, is the only name that I recognize. Danny Kaye. Is it Kay? And Rosemary Clooney, nepotism baby right there. The aunt of George Clooney. I did not know that until we saw Clooney and we did some digging and we're like, oh, that's his aunt. Hilarious. And Vera Ellen. Don't know any of the only name I recognize is Bing Crosby. I knew when this movie was we're gonna watch this movie. I'm like, at least the soundtrack is gonna be great because I love fucking old timey jazz and swing, and I got a couple records.
I just like Bing Crosby. Yeah.
I like Bing Crosby. I like the Andrew Sisters. I like who's that other one that I really like? Oh, I'm blanking on him. He's a trumpet man. Anyways, I'm losing it. Whatever. I like put jazz in a Pandora
Glenn
radio
Miller
station.
is who you're trying to think of.
Glenn Miller. There you go. Thank you very much.
I think one of these actresses was married to a Rothschild. I can't remember who.
Oh, that's some what's the word I'm looking for? Not Freemason, Illuminati type shit right there.
Old money.
Old money. Hell yeah. JB St. Paul trying to sound like Arnold Schwartz African man. African American. Schwartz African American.
Speaking of African American, I don't think there were any black people in this movie, really.
Yes, and they kept saying, "May all your Christmases be white," which I found very racist.
I mean, the movie delivered. It was a very white Christmas. That's
It was
true.
a very
Well, I mean, it was very diverse. You know, had two guys living with each other,
I
cross-dressing.
mean, one of them's
Cross-dressing.
Italian, right? So I guess that counts as diversity back then.
yeah. So it was very funny. We kind of semi-watched this movie, I think, on Sunday. Gabs had it on in the background, or Monday, I think. That's when I had the movies playing for Discord. And Gabs was sitting in here semi-watching the movie and also playing Path of Exile. And I come home from work and I'm like, oh, so you watching this movie? How, what do you think of it? She's like, it's gay. Within the first 30 minutes, they're cross-dressing and they're just singing the same songs over and over. But then we properly sat down and watched it, and then we saw the army scene in the beginning and all that, and it just told the story. We understood the story better.
I told him, I was like, I wasn't really paying attention, but after we started watching it, I was like, oh, okay, this all makes way more sense now that I saw the beginning scene and stuff like that. Because I'm like, I don't get what the motive is. Like, why are they going to this like hotel? What is like? I was just didn't get what was happening. But that's again on me because I wasn't paying attention. I was sucked into Path of Exile.
Yes, and I thought it was hilarious when I came home. She's like, "They're just this movie's woke. I still cross-dressing within the."
Oh, I didn't say that. I didn't
I
say
know, I
it was
know.
woke.
She did say that. No, I know. But then we watched the movie today, and then the scene where they're supposed to pretend to be the sisters and all that stuff. I'm like, this all makes way more sense. And then we
Yeah.
then we chuckled a little bit. We're like, 50s, back when you cross-dressed and people laughed at you because it was funny.
Yeah, it's like back when men dressing as a girl was a joke.
Kicked off of YouTube. Here we go. Let's get and Nerdy Neo asking, was this Bliss's pick? No, it was Carl's pick.
It was my
No.
pick, actually.
Yeah. Nerdy Neo thinks Insidious is like 100 years old and only picks movies from the 40s and 50s.
No, that's me.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, singing and dancing. No, fuck that. That's not me.
It's got a very catchy soundtrack. I always get it stuck in my head, especially around this time of year. As soon as like one of the songs starts to play, I'll just be singing it. A lot of my favorite ones is like, gee, I wish I was back in the army and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah.
And when the sisters do their little act together, that
Yeah.
song's very catchy.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, it's very 1950s in many ways, but like what we were talking about with the story too, it's they're old war buddies and they're
Yeah.
trying to help save their favorite general's ski resort in Vermont because it's kind of going under because it's a terrible season. That's basically the big plot of the whole movie right there.
Yeah.
Right.
And I will say that I don't know. Particularly in this movie and like towards the middle and end and all that stuff, I started getting quite teary-eyed because as a man, and as men who've gone and defend. I mean, I'm not a man that defended the country, but for the men who go out there and fight for this country, like nobody like. It's such a shit feeling to come back to fight for your country and like just thanks and that's it. Like it's one of the things that like people say, oh, women have it tough and all that stuff. Like, really? I think war vets that come back to nothing is pretty tough. Talk about mental health disorder or mental health and all that kind of stuff. So like I don't know, the whole plot when it starts to become about doing a favor for the old general and all that stuff.
They get all the war unit back together for him as well.
Right.
That scene of him doing the uniform check and all that, I was like crying the whole time. I'm like, they made him felt like a general one more time. This is amazing.
Well, another thing too is like you're saying, because they do a whole thing where Bing Crosby's singing about like what happens to the generals when the war is done.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that-
Yeah, I was gonna say that song about like the forgotten.
that one.
general.
Yeah, that one touched me.
Yeah, like that's like a big thing, and then on top of that too, like I can only like just imagine, like you're a general, obviously you think of war, you think of the time period, or it's like men were men, it's like you had to send people to die. Some of these people probably watched their friends get blown up by shrapnel and all that stuff, and then they come back to like the golden age. He's doing successful. He was able to like buy a ski resort, and like kind of like do everything, but he falls on hard times, and then he comes into a room and like you could really good acting for the guy who played the general too, by the way.
Yeah,
And he just gives that emotion where it's like he wants to cry, but he's still a man kind of feeling. Like he's just like you could see like just like he was touched. And like they're making jokes with all these people they haven't seen together. They're just like laughing it up, giving each other hugs, like saying, you became a fat piece of shit, did you? The uniform doesn't fit you, huh?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, just
it's-
boys being boys.
yes, it embodies like that old like feeling of like just outside of like the Christmas time. Like when we think of a timepiece, it's like this is like a forgotten time of like people that like we would consider just be like our grandparents now.
Right, like a bygone era.
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
like people like we grew up with now that are probably long gone. And as I get older and older, it's like the more I start to like this movie because of all the stuff associated with it, with my parents, my grandparents, and it's just been around forever.
Yeah. A lot of values that have been lost to this country. I'm talking about starting a family and all that kind of stuff. And that also hit home
Yeah, like the emphasis on, loyalty and family and just like doing good things, like not without an angle, like that, because that was like a reoccurring thing. Like that each was worried that the other one had an angle, but there was no actual ulterior motives. I mean, not by either of them, but of course by their, brother and sister. Their brother and sister were up to something, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
and and then the whole like the half of the movie where there was a misunderstanding because Little Miss Nosy hotel runner lady listening on the phone had to listen to the wrong part, and I'm like, if she just didn't listen to that phone conversation for 1 second, none of this would be happening right now.
I mean,
So
what
she was
else you
being a
gonna
woman.
do?
There you go. That's what
they
you
needed a
mean.
misunderstanding. Yeah, and that's what I said. I'm like, oh, classic woman gonna, take a simple misunderstanding and rather than talk to him about it and like get it sorted out, is gonna blow everything out of proportion and be dramatic, run away.
Yeah. Although one of my favorite lines was from that lady, the hotel lady, who was listening in. What did she say? Oh, she's talking about the business in the general, and she's like, with him, it's always advance, advance, never retreat. He's gonna advance himself right into a bankruptcy. I don't know why I thought that was funny.
This is a pretty good line. I'm not gonna lie.
It is, yeah. And all the like, because the way they talked to the general, it's almost like they all exclusively talked in, like, army
War
talk.
terms, yeah.
Yeah, and I love that. I don't know why I thought that was so funny. I'm like, oh my god. Even the ladies call him general and say, talk in lingo, war lingo and stuff like that. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, he was like a 3-star general. That ain't nothing to shake a tail at,
But yeah.
Oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and the like we were talking about the song, that he sings about like the soldiers and stuff like that, and I just was thinking that it reminded me also of the song that Jim Belushi sings in the other movie about the little boy that Santa forgot.
Oh yeah.
I completely forgot about that part.
Oh wow.
The jingle all the way. Yeah, that was funny. But yeah, no. If you like old timey '50s jazz swing movies, this movie is just, yeah. It's half of it is just that musicals, and then you get like 15 minutes of storyline, and then back to another musical. So, if you're a fan of that, then this is right up your alley. Sounds like Insidious doesn't like old timey jazz. Is that what I'm getting here, or you just don't like musicals in general?
Musicals in general. I mean, listen, when you look at all the goofy fucking faces they're moving and like the weird way they're moving around, it's like, oh god. It's like
Some of the
really like it is
It
product
was
of the time.
very
It's just like
campy, very gay. Yes.
very campy, very gay.
and that song Snow. Oh god, that was awful. Also, not original part of the script. Both that the sister song, which was good, was not part of the script. The Snow they changed the lyrics to. But my god, it's just like having them just start singing for no fucking reason. It's just like, ugh.
I feel the
Ugh.
same way about musicals. It's just a song. I'm watching a movie. I'm in some story, and then suddenly they're singing. It's like, what the fuck's going on? As a movie watcher, like, I haven't been a huge fan of musicals, but for some reason I give this one a pass just because it is like old and
Well, it makes sense at least to the plot. They're musicians,
right,
and
exactly.
the whole thing is like they're
yeah,
going to
and
try
like
to
musicians
save
just
it.
sit in a fucking restaurant or train or something, just start singing all the time. Does it,
Hey.
Carl? What the hell are you talking about?
They're theater kids, theater kids, I'm sure they do.
Well,
They
I'm just saying, like,
not
Have you
theater
never
kids,
gone
but
to-
those- that type,
Have you been outside?
Glee?
People don't fucking do that.
I'm just saying,
Oh
like,
my God.
most,
You never went
most
to a
of the
Glee
singing and
school?
Stuff is in clubs, and they're practicing to try to save this general's thing. Like, most of the singing makes sense. That's what I'm saying. Most of it.
I somewhat agree, but
It
Insidious
makes
is
sense in the terms of it's in a musical. I'll give you
True.
that.
But also, you know what? Again, I'll also agree with Carl because most musicals have nothing, like the story itself has nothing to do with any music whatsoever.
Yeah.
Why the fuck is Johnny Depp a barber but singing, you know?
Like Sweeney Todd and stuff. Yeah. Like
So,
I said, I understand the criticisms of musicals. I'm not a big musical fan. This one I just really like a lot because I
Right.
No, and it's good. Like I'll say this, like there's definitely some groaning moments, but of the musicals I've had to sit through, this was a better one.
Right on.
Yes, I am a musical fan, and that's why, like, at first, you know, I was like surprised that I wasn't enjoying it. But like I said, I think it's because I wasn't like paying attention, so I had no idea what was going on.
Right.
So once I actually watched it, I was like, "Oh, this is good." You know, I actually really liked it.
I will say I do think the one sister's tap dance scene, she really put her heart and soul into that one.
Oh, you know what I said during
Oh
that
yeah,
scene?
that was say they love to have her tap dancing. They kept that bitch tap dancing.
They popped her up on barbiturates, I bet, to make her go.
Oh my god.
I was
She didn't do her own singing, so she really brought it all for the dancing.
yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
The one
Yeah,
scene
because
where,
the other one they definitely had singing more. I noticed that, and I was
Right.
like, so this one must be like known for her dancing, and this one's probably known for her singing. I was like, that's why they got these ones.
yes, the Clooney broad, she was a singer. It says she wasn't just acting, she actually sung George Clooney's aunt. What is her first name? I'm blanking. I'm terrible. It says it right there. Rosemary.
Yeah.
Rosemary.
It's like you have it, the poster. Up.
I did. I noticed that too late. Like I got the picture right there, but I'm going through the Wikipedia. Like, yes. But yeah, I quite enjoyed myself with this movie. Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say during the one scene where there's like choreography, and then they brought out or they're making that song or that song about choreography, and then the tap lady came out and just they were focusing on her feet, and she was doing like a really really quick tap on the floor, and I'm like, this is the moment foot fetishes became a thing. Facts.
It's all about the feet.
Maybe
It's all-
for you.
It's all about.
That's
We
when
know
Paul
what
realized
Paul is.
that he likes feet.
Oh no, I don't. I promise.
You're gonna make her be Peggy Hill later tonight? Is that what you're trying to do, Paul?
Oh no.
Gabs, let me pour some hot wax on your feet.
Oh my god.
I was gonna say I don't have huge feet though. I have tiny feet.
Oh boy. Things are gonna happen tonight. I'll tell you that. No.
Oh god.
You think it would have been that for that song about it's not dancing anymore, it's choreography or something?
Yeah.
Where you get all is it kind of like, what do you hipster ladies, whatever they want to call them?
Yeah. I definitely was getting like 70s art or 60s art vibe with that little choreography dance.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say his makeup in that one was super campy and gay as well.
Yeah, but you know what? With the way those ladies were dancing around and the outfits they were wearing,
That's
Nothing
right.
about
Here,
that.
I got a song. We're on StreamYards. We're gonna blast. This is the song. This is the song that should have been played. We should have just mute the movie and just let the girls walking around feeding the ducks.
Yeah, but the song was good though, and like the lyrics of it were really funny. Like what he was saying about just the history of dance. You know.
Yeah.
There were lyrics?
Oh,
Insidious
wow.
really liked the purple dresses. Got it.
Yes.
He was
I
like,
didn't even know they're purple.
He
Although
didn't even know they were
speaking of color, my
Color
god, what they did to Bing Crosby's eyes, he looked like he was straight out of fucking Dune.
Yeah, I was like,
Jesus.
I was gonna say, was he the fucking shit? Now I can't forget the name, the Night King. Like,
Yeah. And it was funny,
They're
they had
just
that
so
song
blue.
about like the girls' eyes, and they're like both looking at their potential girl, and they're like, oh, it's blue, it's brown. And I was like, well, you probably are having a hard time telling because unlike Bing here, his eyes are glowing out of the fucking head. Jesus.
listen, it was a different time. They irradiated themselves by accident, probably filming this thing maybe once or twice. We're
Listen,
all
Bing
messed
loves
up
the
on
spice.
barbiturates, man. You know?
He loves the spice melange. Bing Crosby in the new Dune confirmed.
that's hilarious.
That is great. Alrighty. Well, I think that's about it. We got any last thoughts on White Christmas? So many the storyline was great. yeah, and like I said, the whole nod to the war vets and all that kind of stuff. I was like, oh man, that just puts a little cherry on top of the cake for like just how like real it the movie feels, because back then everyone was going to war. Oh yeah, that's the other thing we were talking about, like this is why men were men, and also like because they had a bunch of like, oh, my buddy works for the Sullivan Show and we were in this platoon. It's like, yeah, this is how people networked back in the day. They went, not only got disciplined, not only worked hard and fucking have mad respect for their the commanding officer and stuff like that, learning that shit, but they grew brotherhood, and then when they came back home, it's like, hey, they helped each other out, and you just had like men being men fucking because of that. But now you just look at today,
well, yeah, there's camaraderie,
camaraderie, that's what it was.
Another thing too is Hollywood played a lot of role in World War II as well, with like propaganda films, set pieces to full invasion, stuff like that. Journalists, like they had like actual directors go to like the front to film, all these things. Like the cameramen and that, those people got jobs in Hollywood afterwards too, because they were originally from Hollywood. A lot of the shots that you see from D-Day were usually a cameraman that worked in Hollywood too, or some news outlet as well.
Yep.
So it is like kind of like one of those natural progressions that this movie was made not that long after World War II. And on top of that too, it had pretty much probably a real good story for a lot of people during that time as well,
Facts.
I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone here probably had at least one or two family members that served some way, shape, or form in World War II.
My dad, he was born after World War II, but my dad was a sniper in the Polish army when he was in his teenage years. So yeah.
Yeah. I had uncles, like great uncles who served in tank battalions. I have the old war bond stamps and everything too that we still have from my family that was around that time. And another thing too, like we're kind of talking about like these movies. When I think of like Christmas time, I think of like Bing Crosby and all these people singing the classic Christmas tunes that I listen to still to this day.
Hell yeah.
I don't really like a lot of like the new poppier ones and stuff like that. I prefer the classics, and it to me it like kind of completes that circle. We started off with National Lampoons and growing up in the Midwest, and that vibe really feels like a Christmas for me here. It's like I know those people. They're my aunts and uncles. They're my parents. They're my cousins, my brother and my sister. And then it's just like to kind of cap it off for me. It's like White Christmas. I think of just the classic, Bing Crosby's and everyone else just singing those very classic Christmas songs.
Nerdy Neo saying, lies, Carl has Mariah Carey on loop for Christmas.
I do not, but I do appreciate that she's bought into the meme.
Right? It's funny. Well, hell yeah. What an episode, boys. Thank you so much for watching these movies and coming to chat about them. Let's get everybody on out of here and wish everybody a happy holidays. Let's start off with Carl. What do you got coming up, buddy?
Well, 5 minutes after this, I will be joining Mr. Seth the Dragon, DJ Axis, to play some Double Dragon. And then Friday, I will have on the lovely Mr. Paul Hadouken on here, as well as Angry Canadian Extra Zero, as we do a year-end review of 2024 in gaming with our Game of the Years and other topics like that. So that will be at 7 p.m. Central. And then on Saturday, I don't have the time fully hammered out yet, but I know for a fact Mr. Nerdy Neo and Insidious for sure will be on for a top 5 games that we're anticipating for 2025.
Let's go.
So that's
Hell
everything
yeah.
I got. And thank you very much for having me on, Paul.
No,
And
thank you
Dabs.
for coming on such short notice. Appreciate it.
I
already planned this a week ago.
But I do appreciate it. I want to say if I don't see, I won't see Dabs, but I'll see you. But Merry Christmas to both of you as well, and a Happy New Year.
For sure, and we'll probably be seeing you right after Christmas. Where we got planned. Me and Carl are actually gonna meet IRL and hang out. It's gonna
Yeah,
be fun.
Oh, that'd be
we're
cool.
gonna touch
Merry,
penis
Merry
tips
Christmas to you
like
and
a real
yours as
Pollock.
well.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Sorry.
much.
Yeah, right on. Awesome. Insidious. He already kind of gave it away. But what else do you got? And what do the company's boys got?
So tonight I'll be on with Melee James doing that Marvel's Rivals game, and
Nice.
then yeah, play something on Saturday. I don't know what yet.
We haven't decided. It may be more Path of Exile. It may be something else. Who
Yeah,
knows?
we're inching up to 300 views in that puppy.
Oh my god, yeah, that Path of Exile video has popped off. It was funny. I love it. All right, let's put Seth the Dragon's thing in the Discord, or not Discord, in the chat. Let everybody know. All the other links are down below. Follow Carl on YouTube. Oh, you do also have a Twitch. I gotta put that up there. Links will be down below for all this stuff, but pop Seth's in the chat right now to go watch those guys play Double Dragon right after this. And all right, who else? And Gabs is gonna you'll see Gabs on my channel playing some games here, or the Company Boys. She was on the Company Boys channel playing Path of. If we're playing Path of Exile, Gabs is probably gonna be there. But yes, Gabs doesn't do any shows or anything like that. She wants you to leave. She wants you to not follow her. So I'm doing your outro for you, Gabs.
Yes,
And
exactly.
there you go. And as for I got tomorrow. We're doing some more Elden Ring, and then late Friday night, Saturday morning, 1 a.m. Now we've moved up an hour. Beelzebub with Devil Made Me Do It, and the boys. Shaka Zulu's there. Greg Gregory sometimes there. Who else is there? All the people you know and love. Check that out, and then the weekend afternoons with the Company Boys. That's about it. That's all I got. And chat, we want to wish y'all a happy holidays. Nerdy Neo, JB, Scrambles, all the people hanging out in chat today. Y'all have been freaking awesome legends. Seth was in here too. Amon Ra was in here. Nerd Takes was in here. Ugh, I'm choking on my spit now. I'm trying to get out of here fast. Alrighty,
Okay,
guys.
just describe that more to us.
What?
I said, just describe that more to us, Paul.
Yes, I'm choking.
Don't.
I'm choking. Yes.
I think
All
what he
right.
meant to say is Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Kwanzaa.
Yes. Happy Feliz Navidad, Merry Yuletide, all that great stuff. All right, guys. Thanks once again. We'll have another book club probably in next month or so. I'm not doing it every week. I might do it like once a month or every other week, but we'll see how book club goes, because this is hard to pull together, getting people to show up and make them watch stuff and listen to stuff. So that will be it here, folks. We'll see you next time. Bye.
See ya.